In this episode of the Funny Business Podcast, are you doing Icebreakers soon? Matt and I are going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to ace those breakers.
And on the flip side, we discuss the ongoing scandal on the movie The Blind Side. And I tell you how a band can make a song called I Want My Honda Back that much more enjoyable. Mike, hit the music.
Welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. I deserve an expletive because I literally had Matt wait a full half hour before getting into the green room today for today's recording. Matt, I apologize, but I think we are ready. We're fired up. We're ready to go. Hopefully our listeners or our viewers are ready to go. Let me ask you this before we get started. Matt, how are you? How are things?
I'm good. I did something for today's episode I don't think I ever did before.
You took a poop.
No, but it happened in the bathroom.
Oh.
So honestly, we don't record in person. I brushed my teeth. I don't know why.
Oh.
I just took a look at my teeth and I was, you know what? I'm going to give them a nice little brush. I brush my teeth every day, every morning. But I've never really done it right before a podcast recording. Don't know why I did today, but I did. So I'm amped up. I'm ready to go. How are you? How are things?
Before I even talk to myself, before I talk about myself, how's it feeling? Like fresh. Shiny teeth and me.
Very fresh. I had a little snack when I got home, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna brighten those bad boys up.
What was that snack that you had?
Cheese balls.
Oh,
yeah.
Podcast snack of champions.
Something like that.
Yeah. I actually had some nice two glazed donuts before I got on here today.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And they're actually they're from a little shop out in the country. It is I believe a Mennonite stand. Well, I shouldn't call it a stand, but they call it a mountain apparently. So I'm not even gonna mention it.
Yep. There is. We got our last dog Daisy from a Mennonite family.
Did you?
Yep.
Little Daisy. But I'm doing great. I apologize, Matt. I was in depth and in deep with a few exciting things down the pike. We'll see what happens. But Matt, I came to surprise you today. Usually I've been a good boy. And
you have been a good boy recently, yes.
Thanks. I've been sharing some of the topics and discussions that we have on this podcast before we get on and record. But I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to surprise him today. It's going to be a fun time. I even made it more confusing. I sent him a link before, and it is a dice roller of a 10-sided die.
Yeah, I've never seen. First of all, the fact that Google Dice Roller is a thing is just wild.
You could do a timer. You could flip a coin. And I just Googled.
You can flip a coin?
Yeah, you can flip a coin. Yeah, if you Google search flip a coin.
I'm doing this right now. Hold on. Google search flip a coin. All right, heads or tails?
Tails.
It is heads.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
you can flip a coin.
Anyway.
So Matt and I both have 10-sided dice. I wanted to say die, but I knew plural. So we have 10-sided dice. Matt, what do you think this is going to be?
I made a Dungeons and Dragons joke.
Yeah.
Is it something similar to that?
No, it's not. Well, maybe. If everybody knows Dungeons and Dragons out there in the funny business world. So Matt, we're going to use this dice to come up with our responses in our random icebreaker generator.
Okay.
So I can't say that I came up with this idea with myself. This is from The Distractable, but we all love our podcasts. We all love different podcasts. If you do listen to them, thank you for listening to them. And thank you for listening to us too. So what this is, college is coming around. You're getting ready for those orientations. And you know what's better than an orientation day and a nice set of icebreakers. So I have a random icebreaker generator ready to go. Matt, this 10-sided die that both of us will use. Now, I think this was fun, and I thought we would give it a shot. So with this 10-sided die, 1 is your most negative response. 10 is your most positive response through the answer.
Okay.
So if you are at a 5, it's pretty neutral. But if you are at 1, you have to be as negative as possible. If you're at a 10, you have to be as positive as possible.
1 negative, 10 positive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought what would be better is if I said the question, you roll, and then you find out where, and then compose yourself, say what number you picked, and then go from there. So,
okay.
What do you think? Is this fun?
Let's give it a shot.
All right. I'll go first for you. So, the first question is, you're cooking for the whole team. What is your signature dish? So I'm going to roll. I got a 7. I like my team. I don't like them too much, but like, I don't want to food poison them. So what I will decide to make the whole team for dinner, a nice signature dish, I did this last night with Jenna, is I'm going to make some classic pasta and meat sauce, because nothing is better than a team outing than just a whole bunch of pasta.
That is true. I feel like pasta is a 10 out of 10.
I had pizza seasoning too on top of that last night.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't want to humble brag here, but last night I was a little romantic. I made some nice pasta and meat sauce on, on the stove or the range.
Little music.
Little music. I put on some Italian music.
That's okay. That's weird.
Nice classic Italian music.
Yeah, that's funny because April made chicken parm and gnocchi on Sunday, and she also was playing Italian music.
Oh, wow. Great minds think alike.
Sure do.
I also dimmed the lights. Lit a nice little candle that we had available. Got out 2 glasses. Nice bottle of wine on a Monday night.
Sheesh.
I think it was a white wine. I forget where it was from, but it was a white wine. But I couldn't find any red. So
I like white better.
Romantic.
Nothing more romantic than Italian dinner, pasta, wine, music. Nothing better.
And then there was also Ave Maria. Okay.
Yep.
Matt, are you ready?
Sure.
So you get a different question if that's okay.
I figured.
Or do you want to stick with it?
No.
Okay. All right. Are you ready for your next question?
Give it to me.
All right. Have you learned any useful productivity hacks recently?
I learned a useful productivity hack recently. I'm rolling and I am getting a 1.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Okay. Let's see. Why do you have to be productive? This isn't going to do anything for you. So just don't go to class. Party all night. Sleep all day. FBFM.
There was a song that we used to listen to. It's I love college. Hey, I love drink. I was on my way home the other day, was playing, and all I could just think about was that sweaty basement and just all the good times and the good memories that we had.
Great times.
So, well, Matt, a little stinker there for your response there.
Yeah, I was hoping I was going to get something in the middle.
All right, the next one. What's a movie you always recommend to people? Why do you love it? And I'm going to roll a 5.
Okay.
So right in the middle, right down the line.
Yep.
A movie I would recommend to people would be... Oh, this is a toughie.
Yeah, it's like a very average movie.
Very average movie. Okay, it's going to be a classic, but The Mask. So The Mask was played by Jim Carrey and a lady friend, Cameron Diaz. And it's about this mask, which oddly enough represents the god of mischief, Loki. And once you put on the mask, you turn into this comedic superhero that's basically bulletproof. I think it's great because it not only introduces the kind of Jim Carrey's early adaptations of his acting career, but it's a good laugh. It's something good.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
Nope. You know I'm not a big movie guy.
Party because I gotta.
Don't know what that is.
Oh my gosh,
no idea.
We got to. I think it's on Amazon, I think. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can go on Amazon Video and it's on there.
I'll find it legally somehow.
Or I think YouTube has it for free with ads.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah, dumb ads. Okay, ready. Here you go. Matt.
Yes.
What's an adventurous thing you've done recently?
I am rolling a 2. Adventurous thing I've done recently. I went to bed at like 1 a.m. on Sunday. That was wild.
Why?
Things happen.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks for the color commentary. All right. If you could be fluent in another language instantly, which would you choose and why? And I am rolling a 10.
Wow.
Oh,
damn.
Let me tell you. You know what would be the best language that I'd want to be fluent in instantly? Spanish. Nothing is better than saying something in Spanish. Because let me tell you, you say anything in Spanish, it turns out to be sexy. Like I'm going to say this. Vamos a hacer un bicicleta. And people are like, Mike, what'd you say? All I said was, let's make a bike. And it sounded so sexy, so sensual. Matt, you're probably picking up what I'm putting down. I remember watching an episode of a Netflix series and somebody said that as their kind of their charm.
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting. It's an interesting choice.
I finished it, by the way.
Yeah. What'd you think?
To handle.
What'd you think?
I loved the ending. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
This is besides the point of the icebreaker game.
Yep.
I loved it. I always hate you're led on such with a great high, and then you are just let down so hard after the aftermath because it's like 6 months later, and like anything could happen. So
I've already looked up people. It's not good. It's not good.
So yeah, Spanish, Espanol. I took 3 years of Spanish. I thought it'd be really cool, and Spanish comes up more than you think in America in general. But I think it'd just be cool to be fluent in it because then, you know, you could pretty much communicate to most, if not all, the United States.
Yeah. I mean, if you're picking a love language, French.
Nah, that's Italian. Did I ever tell you the story of when I used to host game shows as a job back in the day at resorts?
Yep.
And part of it was, are you smarter than a fifth grader? And this was the night when a bunch of crazy drunk adults, which I was so innocent during the time, I had no idea that they were doing this, that they decided to play. So it's, are you smarter than the adults? And for the second grade language question, it was, what language do the people of Cuba speak? And somebody from the audience yells, Cuban! And yeah, it was, I didn't get that joke either. I was an innocent little boy, but that was great. I watched that a few times because I had the video of it, and it's, I think my parents were there that night too. I invited my parents to watch that game. Of course, of all games, that's the night they see. So
that's great.
All right, Matt,
give it to me.
What are you nostalgic about recently?
Am I nostalgic about? I'm rolling a 7.
Oh, here we go.
You know, we have a we have a wedding coming up that we both will be in attendance for. And I've just, been thinking back, kind of wondering,
married.
like, the people we are getting married, the tax benefits are going to be great. But just thinking back about maybe some of the friends that we're going to see, and thinking back at all the great times we had in college on Thursday nights, on Friday nights, Saturday nights, Tuesday nights. I mean,
Casual
people
Tuesday.
can't forget Casual Tuesday. Man, that's what a time that was. But just remembering all the good times we had in college, and now, seeing where everybody is in life, it's really just, it's warms my heart.
Mhm. You can keep as much anonymity and sharing as much as possible if you'd like. What is, if you can remember, one of your favorite memories?
Oh, man.
From that whole debauchery.
There's so many to choose from. I think I'm going to say there was a drink that we all wanted to try.
Yeah.
And no one could find it. And then just out of the blue, random Thursday night, one of our friends just walks in the basement with 2 bags full of these drinks, and everyone just lost their mind. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Was this a Saturday night you guys are out?
I don't know. I'm just going to type the drink in the chat.
Okay. I'm Oh, that one.
Yeah. It was electric. It was a god awful drink.
Yeah.
Don't know why we wanted to try it, but when he walked in with 6 cans of it, oh man, it was great. May have been like 4, but
Yeah. Well, I've been a survivor of that said drink, so I will not.
I have too.
Yeah.
Never. Well,
You really?
I'm not gonna say. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had a sip before or 2.
Oh, you mean you never tried it?
I've never tried it.
Oh, I thought you said survivor, like you survived drinking it.
Oh, it's right. No.
Okay.
I'm a longtime survivor of just those days in general. So.
Yes, correct.
My favorite part, I'm gonna give a shout out to Tony. This is Halloween, and typically most of the gatherings would occur at our place, and people who had the address, would let us know ahead of time, like, hey, like we're here, like we're gonna be here. So I was wearing the David S. Pumpkins outfit. No, I wasn't. I was wearing something that we were matching in. I'm not mentioning it on the podcast.
Correct. Yep. Yep.
So we were in the basement. So I walk upstairs. Tony's there, but Tony did not come through the bottom door, which mostly everybody goes through. He came up through the top. And you can hear somebody go up the steps or down the steps. Tony was in a werewolf costume. And Tony had mask on, had the flannel, had the claws, just stood there. And you come around a corner, like it's a blind corner. And I just go, holy shit. And I think I became sober at that point. But then luckily I pulled in for a hug, which Tony was always about hugs. And yeah, that memory keeps in my head for quite some time. So it's a very vivid memory.
Halloweens were just wild in college.
I think we had a double Halloweener. Like we had one that was actually on Halloween, and then we had one that was like geared towards a party that was being celebrated that Saturday or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
So that Saturday night, I think the 4 of us looked at each other. We're being like, what did we get ourselves into?
Yeah, it was great.
That was amazing.
It was awesome.
All right. Enough nostalgic.
Yep.
My turn.
Yep.
If you could have an unlimited supply of one food or drink, what would it be? I got a 10.
Ooh, nice.
Matt.
Ish.
I've loved this food from the start. I shouldn't even say from the start. I'm very keen on having this. And I'm going to generalize it because people back and forth are always say, well, I thought you liked this or I thought you liked that. And I think it's very appropriate to say, because it's my choice. It's my rules. I love it. Anything with buffalo. So like buffalo chicken pizza, buffalo chicken, buffalo chicken cheesesteak, buffalo Cheez-Its, buffalo. Yeah. What a great food.
I love how you said you're going to generalize everything. You're like buffalo chicken pizza, buffalo chicken cheesesteak. I thought you were just going to say buffalo chicken.
Yeah, well.
Oh, man.
It's a great food.
Yes, it is.
All right, Matt, your turn. We'll do one more set after this. So
Okay.
you'll do one and then, well, actually, we'll do two more. I'll do one more. So,
Okay.
do you have a favorite mug? Let us see it and tell us why you love it.
Pass.
Okay, good. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh, okay.
I'm ready for this.
I like this. I hope I get a good number. Rolling. Oh, I got a 10.
Nice. Let's go.
Best piece of advice I've ever been given. Man. Probably given a lot of advice, a lot of good advice in my life, whether it's through college professors, high school teachers,
You've
parents,
delivered advice.
I have delivered a lot of advice in my times. Probably the best piece of advice that I've been given was probably just to be yourself. And that's what everyone always kind of tells you to do. My parents have always told me to be yourself. College professors in an interview for jobs or whatever it is, always be yourself. Don't change who you are for someone else, because someone's out there is going to love you for who you are. And a great piece of advice that I've ever been given. Quote, the great Dwight Schrute from Michael Scott. Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
Life changing. Yeah, be yourself, man. That's good. Love it. All right. Last set. What current fact about your life would most impress your 5-year-old self?
Oh, man. That's a good question.
I just got a 4.
Oh, that's even funnier.
Like less than mediocre. I was on TV a few times. Just
4.
Some random occurrences that have occurred in my life. Had a great time. A lot of camera work, a lot of staying up watching for the news. And then what happens is it turns on to the Powerball. Just being on TV a couple 2-3 times.
Mm-hmm. Apparently it's a great time.
Apparently. All right. Okay, Matt, here's your last one.
It looks like you just picked an interesting question.
I did. Is there any topic lately that you would like to be mentored on?
Ooh, okay. I kind of like this.
I like it.
I rolled a 2.
Oh.
That's tough. I was hoping for a good number. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like I kind of know everything I need to know. So like mentoring on, I don't really trust anyone else's opinions. Especially on stuff that I don't know about. Like if I don't know about it, do I really need to know about it kind of thing? I don't think so. I don't watch the news, so I don't really need to know anything. If I need to know about it, I'll do it myself.
So you don't listen to advice either?
No, that's not true. It's a topic. I don't need to be mentored on knowledge on anything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, what topic do you want to be mentored on?
Well, there's one big thing in the news that we'll get to later in the show. But I kind of did my research on that. Okay. I don't know. Is there anything in your head? I feel like it was kind of a quiet week in the pop culture news cycle. One thing I will say that I just don't really care to really know what's going on is the whole Trump indictment. There's too much going on, and it's just like is whatever.
For me, Coding.
Like coating chicken in like sauce.
No, not COAT, CODING, jackass.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Like, there's a couple things that I'm running through that I'd love to run by myself. So, for instance, like, I'd like to do like transcriptions for like video interviews that I do, and like, there's software out there that like you can pay to, what do you call it?
Code.
Pay to code and get the transcription, but like there's just nothing more rewarding than like building something yourself and doing it. Like a lot of automations, a lot of automating that I do at my job that I'd really like to apply more customized through coding. So
yep,
codes.
It's a decent one. Also aliens.
You want to be mentored on aliens.
Yeah, just like I didn't really pay attention to everything that was said in the debriefing.
Uh-huh.
And I just, what do we have? What don't we have? Would like to know more.
Would you like to make contact with aliens?
No, I would not. I think it's kind of similar to the robots. Okay. They will probably kill it. Well, I don't know. What are the odds that aliens are what we think they are?
You're looking for a percentage?
Yeah, like everyone always thinks like UFOs or aliens are going to come down, laser beam, kill us all. There is nothing on Earth like truly like humans, like specifically what we are now. And like aliens could be bears. Bears could be aliens. Really, if you think about it. Bears could be aliens. And Matt, we just don't even know it.
Matt, you were that meme for Nat Geo. Aliens! His hands are up and he's all like floofy hair.
Aliens could be on Earth right now as like dogs. What if dogs are aliens? We just don't know it.
Okay. So I found a percentage. I found a percentage.
Okay.
5% chance that it is what we quote know about aliens, and a lot of it's influenced through television and through media. So
correct,
this idea of unidentified flying objects, now that you don't even call UFOs anymore, but you call it some weird thing now because apparently it's identified now. The saucer like shape, like it could be something different. Like we see all the Marvel movies, we see all the different things. Like could be a totally different ship or a spaceship. I think what's going to throw me off the most is if aliens do come any closer to reality, is how they look.
So, aliens might not even, that's a great point. Well, I'll come back to how they look part. Aliens might not even have like resources to make a ship.
Right.
They could be coming from planets that have nothing. Yeah. They could teleport. That's a fact in the multiverse. What do you think of people that said they would have sex with aliens?
I mean, it's probably the same people that they said they'd have sex with animals, but I know that's a different comment.
That is exactly the exact same thing I was going to say. You don't even know what this is, what it looks like. You're that horny. You're just like, yep, I'd f it. Like, what? How does that make any sense? Again, it comes down to the fact that if bears are aliens, would you have sex with the bear? I would hope your answer is no.
But okay, so here's my caveat, which I really don't want to talk too much about alien. The idea that we're classifying them as some sort of animals. They're a higher form of species. So I can understand why people want to have coitus with these said aliens. But I think it's just a little too far off the beaten path.
It's a little sus, honestly.
A little sus. I mean, I could understand like having a little alien human baby. Like, could be fun, new discovery. Could have like laser shoot out of his eyes for all we know. But yeah, that's wow. What an alien!
Just came out of nowhere. We went from aliens might not build spaceships. The bears could be aliens. To would you have sex with an alien?
Oh my God. Yeah. Crazy stuff.
You never know what you're going to get here.
So yeah, good luck. If you're a college student, good luck on your icebreakers. Have fun with it. Stick around with it. Participate. You're only going to make the group not like them more by being a Debbie Downer. Like, just give it a 5.
Yeah.
We played a game with a game of dice. Give it a 5 response. You don't have to give it a 1. You don't have to give it a 10. Give it a 5. Participate.
What's your favorite icebreaker game?
Oh, I mean, in particular, I had the opportunity to host large-scaled ones. I always love a good this or that. So, like, what you do is you take the entire group of participants. So let's say there's 50 participants, and you have them stand like in the middle of like a room. One wall is one thing, the other wall is that thing. So it's like a would you rather, but like you see the split happen. But then you find one commonality amongst each other. So like Apple, thank you, Apple or Android, people would split. But then there's already a commonality amongst those people. And then you just have them like discuss, like give your name, major, hometown, all that good stuff. And then like a weird thing to add on top of that. So that's like my favorite one. I think team building more is like my favorite. For some reason, the human lock, for instance, like you all cross hands and you're trying to, that's my favorite, like physical one. But then I think the one that I like the most to learn from people, and I'll give a shout out to one of my, not one of my orientation leaders, but my orientation leader, the person who was my orientation leader, who was the person who was mentoring us. We had this game of trying to memorize the group. But how you did it, it's you would give yourself a name. So mine was Magnificent Mike. And then the person would go to the next person. So like you'd be like Majestic Matt. And I'd have to remember, okay, Magnificent Mike, Majestic Matt. We had to go all the way around the circle. So what's yours?
And you had to pick a verb that was the same letter of your first name. Yes.
Adjective.
I'm going to give it a 2. I liked I've Got Mail. I think that's an easy, quick one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one. So you're standing in the circle, have one person in the middle that says, I've got mail for anyone who's been to the state of Kentucky. And if you've been to the state of Kentucky, you run across the circle. Whoever's the last person to not find a spot is in the middle and continues, I've got mail. I also liked, there's a one, I don't know the exact name of it, but you're given a sheet with about like 15 items.
Okay.
And you have a group of like 5 or 6.
Oh, yeah.
And the scenario is that the 6 of you have been stranded on a desert island.
Wait, I've never heard this. This is interesting.
So you're stranded on a desert island, and actually, that's not technically true. Let me rephrase that.
Right.
I only did this once, so it's coming back to me. You're on a boat. The boat starts to sink.
Okay.
You want to save the items that you think are most important. You have a list of 15 items. You have to individually rank what you think from 1 to 15 is most important, least important, and then meet as a group to discuss and combine your list to make an actual list.
To come with a consensus.
But some of the items are like a rope or a can of gasoline. So it's all things that can help, or like a shard of glass. So you personally have to think what you think is most important, but then you have to convince everyone else in the group why you think you're correct. And then there's actually like an actual list of like what the true correct ranking from 1 to 15 is.
Is a bottle of rum on that list?
I do believe alcohol is probably on there.
Oh, I need some bottle of rum.
Yeah, it's fun. We wanted to share something that has become essential to those days after a long, exhausting night: Liquid IV's Hydration Multiplier.
It's amazing how huge a difference it makes. Liquid IV helps us feel more energized and refreshed throughout the day. With one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and a 2 times faster hydration formula than plain water.
We both love the flavors. Yuzu pineapple and passion fruit are our top picks, They make staying hydrated a truly enjoyable experience.
What's even better is that Liquid IV is committed to giving back to communities in need worldwide by providing clean and abundant water. They've already donated over 39 servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
And we have a special treat if you want to try Liquid IV. Head over to liquidiv.com and use the code FUNNYBUSINESS at checkout to get a 20% discount on your entire purchase.
So shop Better Hydration today with promo code FUNNYBUSINESS. All one word, FUNNYBUSINESS at liquidiv.com at checkout.
Remember to stay hydrated and healthy and give Liquid IV a try. It's worth it. Okay. Let's slide in the second half of the show. Let's do down in the dumps first. We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna do some down in the dumps. Mike, you can go first.
Okay.
You can do what all of that you have.
Yeah. So Matt is aware of this one I'm going to mention. My stream was a disaster the last time I streamed.
It was not great. No.
Oh my gosh.
It was tough.
So what happened was I wanted to be funny and I wanted to use voice mod. What it is, it's like a voice manipulator, changes the voice, yada, yada. So there was a couple settings I had to click and then change. And when I got on to play Fortnite with Matt, I started playing them. Matt heard them, all of them. Matt was laughing. He was enjoying himself.
Yeah, I actually pissed my pants from laughing so much.
There was one I was waiting until we set a bounty. So in Fortnite, there's like bounties that you could set and you have to find the person for a bounty. And anytime we get set as a bounty, it always goes, I will remember you. I found that song and I like had that in the hopper and I was ready to go.
Shit.
So here's the thing that went wrong. Everybody can only hear me on the stream. Nobody could hear the game and nobody could hear Matt. Mm-hmm. So then when I tried changing it, my whole screen went completely AWOL. I had some of my screen on the big screen. I had some of my screen on my third monitor, and then I had some of it on the second monitor. My OBS was all messed up in a half. And then when I finally switched it over, then my game got completely laggy. It was absolutely awful. And then I just ended it. I restarted the game like 6 times. I restarted my PC twice. I just ended the stream. I'm like, Matt, I just want to play a game. I'm done. Like that was probably the one time I felt so frustrated of streaming, not even from the game, just streaming, that I actually said, I want to stop, Matt.
So you legit played like 3 games that night.
Yeah.
It's so bad. But you know what happens?
I was so ready to like have like a gaming sesh. Like, you know, it just seems like we look forward to those weeks of playing. And then all of a sudden it just, the fit hits the shan and it just completely ruins the whole vibe. And the vibes were immaculate that night. But then, God forbid, I decide to try to do something new. And yet again, continues my quarter life crisis of trying to have my stream set up correctly.
You will master it one day. I'm confident.
I hope so.
I'm confident.
I hope so. Our dear friend Alex keeps saying that I need an actual PC tower. I just don't have the funds for that big man.
No.
So the laptop will be. Matt, this second one. I'm going to talk about Mark Cuban.
Your favorite man.
I have had a change of heart.
Oh, wow. No way.
So
this is huge.
Another podcaster that has come around very quickly in popularity, Bobby Altoff.
Is she the girl that like does the podcast in bed?
Well, that was one
Drake.
podcast. That was with Drake.
Okay.
So she hosted a podcast with Mark Cuban on the floor in a warehouse. And you know, she's saying that like Mark didn't want me to record at his house. And I'm like, what a jerk. Like just going off. And then once they finally sat down and had a discussion, I only listened to like the first 15 minutes of it. I'm like hearing Cuban speak and I'm like, oh man, I'm like, is I really a jerk to this guy? And so change of heart. My Mark Cuban crisis is finally over, and I could say that Mark Cuban is an intellectual and a kind gentleman and a scholar.
I'm glad you've come around because he's just a really cool dude. Even though he does own the Dallas Mavericks, and I hate them. But very, very cool dude, very good business guy, very smart, and he knows what he's talking about. A little arrogant at times, but I think in the type of business he's in and the position he's in, you got to be a little arrogant at times.
Yeah, I think we all are at a point.
Right.
That's it.
That's it. All right. I only have two myself. I just forgot, and I can't figure out how to hit a straight drive in golf. I can't even, Mike, I can't hit my drive up in the air. Everything just goes right in the ground. Everything.
Does it roll?
No, I'm not kidding. It goes like 75 yards. And I'm a lefty. It always like looks like it's going straight and then just hooks straight right. Everything. Yeah. I was in the golf tournament on Sunday. It's the first time I actually played golf. A little tipsy. It was fun.
Maybe that's why.
No, it wasn't, because it was like halfway through the tournament when I started like drinking Screwball. And the first nine, I was like, "What the hell? This is ridiculous!" And then I switched my 3-wood. That wasn't much better. And that used to be like my strong suit in my game. Like I used to be able to kind of hit it like 280 down the middle.
Sure.
And I don't know what I'm doing. Trying to make adjustments in my head. I don't know. And it's very frustrating because if I could actually hit the ball even 200 yards in the fairway, I think I would be pretty decent at golf. But my problem is every time I go to hit my second shot, I still have like 350 yards, and I'm putting for like bogey at best every time.
Bogus.
Yeah. Also, we need to go golfing.
Yeah.
My last down in the dumps. This one's really been the big news story, kind of like this week. One of my favorite movies ever is Just a Lie.
The Blind Side.
The Blind Side. So, have you been caught up? Have you seen The Blind Side?
Yes.
Okay. So, for those that haven't seen, I'm not going to explain the whole story of The Blind Side. I'm sure most people here have seen it. Michael Orr, who the movie was basically built around, the actual football player, basically came out this week and is suing his quote unquote adopted family because he wasn't actually adopted. And supposedly the family tricked him into thinking he was adopted, and they tricked him into signing conservatory papers. And this is kind of the craziest part of it all. Michael Orr's made $0 from this movie.
Yeah.
And the family's kind of made all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely wild story. And like I said, it's a good feel-good story, we thought. He's a great guy. He actually is. And it just blows my mind. One, that's taken 14 years for him to kind of realize this. I'm not blaming him in any of this.
Right.
It's just kind of crazy that we're just now finding out about this. Yeah, it really sucks for him, but also it's just like this was a crazy movie and it's all a lie.
That's upsetting. I saw that and I was like, oh no, really? And then, because it's a great movie regardless. Like it's anybody who watches it, football fan or not, like it is a good movie. Mm-hmm. But I think with the drama that's behind it, I think it's going to be really tough for it to come back.
Yeah, I have two other things. One, it is dropping down my rankings of football movies.
Okay.
I think it was kind of contending with Remember the Titans. Number one. Remember the Titans is now number one. Number two, I mean this as like half joking, but also maybe half serious. Sandra Bullock won an Oscar, I believe, for this movie.
Sure.
I believe she was. Can you look that up before I
sure, Matt.
Before I continue this statement? I heard this on a podcast.
Sandra Bullock. It was an Emmy,
and maybe it was an Emmy. She won she won an Oscar for The Blind Side.
Twitter wants Sandra Bullock to lose the Blind Side Oscar after Oh,
Okay.
yeah, drama.
That was actually my question. Should she give that back?
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
If anything, she does it on her own volition.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying they should like forcibly take it back. But that's also got to be a weird feeling for her. Like, you portrayed this family, this mom, quote unquote, that looked like she was very genuine, very nice. And Sandra Bullock probably made a lot of money off this movie too. And now it's all a lie. It's just, the whole thing is just very, very weird.
So
and it's kind of early on in the process. It's probably not going away. It's just so bizarre. And just like, if you had to pick one movie to be true, it'd be that one.
Yep.
Sucks. However, we will finish off the show. Final segment today is Say What. Mike, I'll go first.
Okay.
I have two pretty good ones, I think. We're going to talk a little business. We are funny business.
Business.
Just did some funny. Let's do some business. Emailing is a lazy excuse for not getting work, quote unquote, done. What I mean by this, and I'm nothing really, this has just kind of been in my head for a little while.
Sure.
If you go to email someone outside your organization because you need to get something done or have a question or whatever, if they don't email you back, you can't just not get their work done because they didn't email you back. There's other, like, what I'm saying is, like, if your boss gives you a task and say, hey, get in contact with these people, see what you can do or whatever, email them. They don't respond for a few days. Email again. They don't respond for a week now. Boss comes, hey, where are you at with this? Oh, they didn't get back to me. That's lazy, in my opinion. Physically call them. Like, there's other ways you can go around this. Kind of happened to me. Like, something I did earlier at work this week, emailed, didn't get a response. I called them, talked on the phone. They gave me a half response, let it go another day, called them again today, issue resolved. So saying, oh, I can't do anything about it because they didn't email me back is just lazy, in my opinion, especially like if there's a deadline you're trying to hit or the deadline that this person's involved in. I don't understand why people are afraid to pick up the phone and make a phone call.
And even if it's an internal communication, you know what the best thing to do for the third thing is?
You walk to their desk.
Walk right to their desk.
Yep. You're like, hey, bitch, remember me?
Remember me?
Yeah, just don't be lazy.
I agree. There is times when it's completely impossible. If in the past I know people that don't respond to your emails, don't respond to your phone calls, and is never in the office because at times it was working from home or they just weren't available. Mm-hmm. So definitely having that, it is tough. I think it is tough for the confidence of being assertive, not aggressive, assertive in getting tasks done. There is an art when it comes to balancing that. I mean, if you're not giving person like a day to respond to the email, then like something's a little off.
Correct.
Like if you don't send the email, they don't respond in the next 5 minutes, I'm calling. I think it has, merit to get your task done because the deadline's on you, man. Mm-hmm. Well, you, rhetorically, hypothetically speaking. So, yep. I agree, Matt.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I only have one.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm hoping this doesn't change. Matt, this has been the best 3 weeks of a weekend. Best 3 weekends I think I've had in quite some time. Correct.
And I know why.
It's because Jen and I are finally... No. I don't know if anybody knows this. I mean, we've mentioned it here or there, but I've seen Matt 3 weekends in a row.
Correct.
And like, we picked that up the second week that we saw each other. And we were kind of like going through and like Matt has done night classes on Monday up where I worked. And that, I think that's probably the only thing, since actually living together in a house, that this is the most frequent we have seen each other since living together in college.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is just, since moving to a new area, although we are busy out of the wazoo, I think it has just been much more appreciative and just simply nicer that there is that access and there is that accessibility to see friends like you, Matt, be able to, if we want to do something Friday night, we're not hauling ass an hour and a half to see each other. Like, it is so nice collectively. And I thought I'd just mention that on the podcast. So,
yeah, I mean, it just goes back to, you said like living in Jenna for 3 weeks is awesome, but like it is. Like, you get to come home and spend a night together with your significant other and just kind of make plans. But it's also great because the plans can start at like 5 o'clock instead of like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Right.
It's a lot of fun. We have seen each other the last couple of weekends, which leads me to my last say what.
Are you not coming?
I will be coming this weekend. So it's indirectly. We saw each other at Music Fest.
Yes.
We had some great times.
My very first time.
Very first time. How'd you enjoy it? I didn't ask you how you enjoyed it.
A little overwhelming with the crowd, but overall,
that band had a big crowd. Yes, a huge crowd.
Yeah.
How great were the mugs, though?
Whoever came up with that idea,
yes,
deserves a raise.
Now, before I continue, do you know if you bring that mug next year, they will refill that one as well?
Yes, because I saw like mugs, different designs, and I assumed by that. So yes, but thank you for telling me that.
Yes, not many people don't know that. So the band that we went to see after we separated our separate ways, what a time! So it was Igor and the Red Elvises. I'm going to shout them out because they're just phenomenal. And my say what is, bands that are interactive with the crowd make the experience 10 times better. So Igor and the Red Elvises, they don't play traditional music. I mean, they played the classics, Refrigerator, Refrigerator. They played the classics, I Want My Honda Back. I want my Honda back. What else do they play? Closet Disco Dancer. I am a closet disco dancer. And of course, my favorite, Smell the Bacon.
Bacon.
But they're just so, Igor is so interactive with the crowd. For example, if you're watching on YouTube, Closet Disco Dancer, before he starts, he makes you all do the disco move like this. And then in the song, and the whole crowd every time is, I am a closet disco dancer, which is very hard to do when you're holding a mug.
Right.
There was another song. It's not even a song, Mike. He just plays the guitar, they play drums, and then he'll raise his left arm, and everybody on that side of the stadium and the crowd goes, ah, and he'll raise his right arm, and they go, ah, ah, ah. That's the whole song. It's great. And then maybe my two favorite that they do, after every single song they play. Now I think they're all technically, or like Igor's a little Russian or something. After every song, Igor just goes, are you having fun? And it was like, ah. He's like, I can't hear you. Are you having fun? But it's after every song. And the best thing that he does, he's done this every time I see him. Half hour left in his set. Now, we all know he has like 5 or 6 songs left. A half hour left. He starts going, do you want to hear one more? We all go, one more. And he'll go, one more. He does it 7 times. He does it 7 times. We scream our heads off every time. It's great. Crowd was electric. But bands that try to, and performers, especially when you're not like someone huge and you're not selling out like Madison Square Garden, if you're more interactive, even if the songs aren't great, because I'm not going to go home and listen to I Want My Honda Back or Refrigerator on Spotify. I do have Smell the Bacon on Spotify. That's beside the point. it makes it that much more fun, and people are going to come out to see you.
I don't want to call the person out, but I did go to a concert before I went to this music fest, and I could wholeheartedly say yes, interacting. The Amish Outlaws were who we saw, and they had some technical difficulties. Apparently, they rocked too much that the power went out at their stage.
Yep.
I mean, it was upsetting, but like freaking amazing. Like crowd was still electric, and like the power was out. But they're like, okay, we're going to take a 15-minute break. And everybody just started booing. They're like, boo. And of course he comes back. He's like, who's upset? Who's upset that, we're taking a break? Can't you? I think he said something along the lines of like, you never take a break when you're doing something. And then he's like, oh, raise your hand if you think we shouldn't take a break. And there was like a few people in front of the stage, and all of a sudden he just starts pointing them out. You're an asshole. 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 He just goes down the line. But it was electrifying. I 100% agree with you, Matt. Like if you're not interacting with your audience, like why are you even performing in front of one?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
So, wow.
Yeah. What a time.
Smell the bacon.
Smell the bacon. Smell the bacon. I'm on fire.
What a time. All right. Well, thanks everybody so much for listening or watching the Funny Business Podcast, episode 174. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that follow button, that like button, the retweet or share if that is applicable to you. If you're trying to find us on other places, you can find those places at solo.to/funnybusiness. Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
What's your advice for the good people of the funny business world?
Besides going to Liquid IV and using code FUNNYBUSINESS for 20% off, because that's always going to be my advice. Mike, we both now like to cook.
Yes.
We cook a lot of good stuff, but you know what? Sometimes you can't cook, and you know what you have to do?
Take out.
Eat your leftovers.
Okay.
Yes, it's great cooking, and you want a good, freshly cooked meal every night, but you know what? Sometimes you make a little too much. Sometimes the night before, 2 nights before, you're not as hungry. You got leftovers in the fridge, don't let those go to waste. Even if you, like today, I'm by myself. April's working late at night. We have this recording, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to go to Weiss, and I'm just going to pick up one meal. I'm going to cook it for myself. And I thought, by around time, you know what? We got some leftovers in the fridge. I don't want those to go to waste, so I'm going to eat those instead and make a meal later. So
yes.
Just be smart with your groceries is really what it comes down to.
Amen. Well, thank you all so much for listening and watching, and until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.